Hey guys, so I'm back and I fixed the error. Let me just do some things. Okay, I fixed the error with the network, but it wasn't a password, an admin error. It wasn't anything like that. I will explain. Okay, so usually your ISP will change the IP you currently have, depending some in some times. Okay, so if they are doing some fixes and they might uh, reboot the DNS or do something else. Okay, so that is IT stuff that they do there, so management, and also eventually the timeout will be reached and you will get a new API address. So that was the problem here with the network error that you can see here, named the Mongo network error, because this is something that I think it only MongoAtlas have, that you can only connect using a certain IP. I'm showing you my IP. It's going to change anyway, so I don't mind. Okay, so you just need to go to add your IP address or your current IP address, or edit and add your current IP address, and you will be able to connect again if you had the same error. Okay, so that's the only thing. So we can continue now with the development. So we have this and we need to create the let's go to main. We need to create, not main, sorry, app.js. The navigation, we're going to do that right away so we can handle that in this video. So we have the navigation and we can go through the different routes. So let's say import link from React Router DOM, and the other import we're going to do is the import. Okay, it's actually the same, so we should be able to get it with router, okay, from React Router DOM. So those are the two things we need to import here, and we need to wrap our app with router, just like that, and we can start. I was to this, it's not like that. We can start with this. So let me just change this because it throws me off. Constant app equals to this, not like that, to this function. Okay, so we have that. We need to get the props here working too. So we need to check a few things, because remember I was checking for the button if I was in a certain URL. So constant path and set path equals to use state. I didn't add that. Okay, so we need to add here with React, comma, use effect. No, I don't want that. Use effect and use state, just like that. So this one is going to be just a empty string by default. Okay, so the first state is going to be that. And remember that this is JavaScript. Okay, so we can get some event listeners working inside our application. So what we need to do here is to say window that add event listener. So we need to check for the loading and add a new function, okay, to that listener. So we can say console.log and a window loaded, something like that, just to see that it's showing, because what we're going to do is to check the location that path name. Okay, so we add the create. So what we're going to do is to check if we are in the create URL. Okay, if the URL has this slash create, then you're going to set path to be window the location that path name, because we want to have a reference of that path name that we are receiving from the URL. Okay, so after that we already set the path name, so we need to check the path, and this is a function, and we can wrap this inside a constant. So let's say let's even leave it like that, so this should work. Props that history that listen. So we add the location, and this is a function, so we set path to the location path name. So we're going to check if, as I said, if we are on the location we are looking for, that is the create, and for every change we are going to set the location of that path. So we're going to say use effect. Okay, it adds that. Nice. So we don't need the cleanup right now. We are going to need that later, and we don't need to map anything here, just to leave that as it is. Check path is the thing that we are going to use inside this. So we're going to check if we are inside. Okay, so for every time we need to listen to the changing of the URLs, and we append that location or the location it gives us. So depending on that, we're going to check the path for the path name, and if the path name is the create, then we're going to do some things. Okay, that depending on that, we're going to say constant show add item equals to the path. So here we're going to use the path that is inside this, okay, the line 9. So let's remove that space there, and let's remove that one. Okay, so it looks better. Now constant, let's add item. So this is going to be the item that is going to be rendered if we are not inside the create URL. If show add item is not equals to, because we're going to check for the create, then I already did this in another application, so but it wasn't from scratch. Add item equals, so if we are not in create, we want to show the link. So I'm just going to copy this because this is a simple link. Let me add this so it doesn't so we can add spacings, but this is just a link with ID add item is a link. Okay, remember that this is going to be rendered into an anchor or an anchor tag that is going to go to our create component, and it's going to have the text inside of add item. So now we can check inside this, and we can actually create the navigation, because we're going to create the navigation inside here. I actually don't need to set it elsewhere. Yep, so that should be fine. Okay, now then I'm just going to add this, copy this, because this is just plain basic React. That is a list with a link to the main route, and it's going to say MERN post. This is going to be like the company label, or the the logo or whatever. I'm just saying that MERN post to just have that there. So the other thing, and sorry, because this is going to go inside UL, missed that, sorry. And here we need to add another UL, and we are going to say, because we only have one, okay, this is not Angular, because we only have one, we're going to say add item, and it's the only thing that is going to be displayed. So let's see if that works. Okay, if I go to add item, you can see that the one that was here, the add item, is going to disappear, because we have the create inside our URL. So that's actually pretty good. So when we are in that item, we don't want to show again that same navigation, because what's the point if I'm already inside that add item page, So that's a pretty nice thing to do, to avoid just having the same items to display in the navigation. In this case, I'm just using it for one, but you can also check if the using path, if we are on the same. Okay, so right now here I'm checking if we are on create. You can say else, or if else you are on, I don't know, admin or something like that, and you can just continue with that. So we have this already and it's working. So let me see the time. We've been 11 minutes, so why don't we just leave it here? Because, okay, missed that one. Because you can see at post page, yeah, next time we're going to add the all posts. So, and we will add some styling. Okay, this is not a CSS HTML tutorial, so we're going to just paste some things and the styles. So don't worry too much about those. You will have the repo, and if you want, I will build later some HTML and CSS tutorial for beginners if you are interested in that. And we're going to build, I don't know, forms and portfolio pages, landing pages with plain HTML CSS, so you get used to do that. Okay, so that's it for this video, and see you in the next one.